Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. I'll be honest. That outcome was not what I wanted to happen. Absolutely not. Because it's finished 0-0, Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 0, and this means that we now have to go to Villa Park and get it done at Villa Park. If we don't get it done at Villa Park, we are out of the FA Cup. So we have to go to Villa Park and get it done there. Now, what does that mean? Because on paper, back in the day, Villa Park, yeah, lovely. Now, Villa Park, hardest ground to go to in the league. If we're actually talking in terms of form. Aston Villa have gone 15 unbeaten at home in the league, if I'm not mistaken. They've gone unbeaten at home since last February. They've not lost. Their home record is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'm actually going to do something here. Let me actually... If we look at the table, the home record... I don't know if you can... can you see that? Or is that too... Anyway, top... Aston Villa. In terms of the home games. 28 out of a possible 30 points. We have to go there and get the job done. When we should have killed it off today, but we didn't. And we had a first half where we had a couple of chances. I'd say a couple of chances, yeah? It wasn't exactly us blitzing the goal left, right and centre to the point where we're like, oh my God, how has it not gone in by now? Like, it wasn't the case. But we had two chances that you would argue and go, come on. You know? It's just poor effort of shot at goal that they should be doing better with, but they don't. And then there's a second half where nothing happened. Nothing happened. So, overall, it's just not good. And it's this reason why I come to the consensus that I came to against Middlesbrough, where I absolutely acknowledge that what Chelsea had to do on that day was what they had to do, and they executed it, right? 6-1 against a mid-table championship team sounds pretty standard, right? But you can't let that be the driver of what to expect going forward, because they are a mid-table championship team. I understand people want to clutch at straws because we don't really see this team winning anymore now, do we? So when we do in such a manner, we think, oh my God, you know, but we have to be bit out of the box, look at everything for what it is, understand and go, yeah, it's Middlesbrough. Now we play Villa, which is why I said in the preview that I was a lot more cautious for this one. I don't like playing Villa. I don't like playing them, man. Their midfield is, it's stacked. It's efficient. You know, it's very well drilled and very physical, and they don't give you much time and space. That midfield's a very good midfield. And you could tell that when it got to the hour mark, you could tell Villa were happy to just settle for a point. And what's funny is, towards the last 15 minutes, they actually started to give it more. Whilst we went down, Villa went up. Why is that allowed to happen? Why does that happen? Do you know what I mean? That's what I don't feel comfortable with, is when we're playing a cup game where it's do or die. This is a cup game. You know, if you're out, you're out. You lose, you're gone. It's finished. You got 90 minutes. Get the job done or else, right? And there just isn't much fire. There isn't much intensity. There's no urgency. You know, there's a couple of moves during the game. Yes. There's a couple of combinations. Yes. But again, I'm not going to clutch at straws and pretend that is going to be the base for everything that we do. No, man. Burnley come up with a couple of combinations and a couple of things sometimes. You know, that's Burnley. So I'm not going to do that. I expect, I wouldn't say an onslaught, but you get the gist. It should be dominant and it should be completely in their faces, and it should be us finding loopholes, and it should be us creating enough chances overall. It just should be us that has the complete upper hand in the game. Because we have most of the ball and we're passing along the back, and then we get into a decent position, and then all of a sudden we think, no, instead of going to move forward because we have space to move forward into, what we're going to do is go backwards. Why? You see, those things are what doesn't allow us to be able to at least give us a chance to take advantage of a lapse in concentration or a bad positioning from an Aston Villa player or something like that, because you're always giving them time to get back into where they need to be. And then we complain that we can't break through. I understand some teams set up in that way, but Villa didn't set up to park a bus today. No, they didn't. They controlled the midfield, right? But they weren't set up in a way to just completely nullify us and cut us off completely. No. But sometimes we cut ourselves off when there's no need. Why pass slow? Why not move? Why go back when you have an option to go forward? I'm not saying don't ever go back. You go back when you have zero option. You're locked. Okay. Spread the play again. Let's go back. Give the ball to another part of the pitch. Fair enough. Nah. And now the consequence is that we have to go to Villa Park to get this job done. Last season, we got eliminated by Man City, albeit it's Man City, but we got eliminated in the third round. And this season, we've got to go to Villa Park in the fourth round to try and salvage ourselves and get to the fifth round. It's not looking good. So, when we look at the way that we set up, who we decided to play, the lineup, you could argue, well, there were question marks. Let's just say that. There were question marks. Colwell came off injured in the warm-up. We'll see what the severity of that is. I hope he's okay. Gilchrist ended up playing instead right back, but that meant Badiashile moved to left back. Now, I got to be honest, he's not a left back. He's never played left back in his life. He done somewhat all right. I can't expect him to look like Roberto Carlos. But there wasn't really much coming down his flank. They were focusing more on Gilchrist, which surprised me. So there was that. The midfield expected Enzo Caicedo, Gallagher just ahead. Gallagher just ahead because Sterling on the left, Madueke on the right, and Cole Palmer up top as a false nine. Now, some would argue and go, yeah, but there isn't much on the option. Despite, look, you've got a striker on the bench, you play a striker. It's as simple as that. If you've run out of strikers, then okay, you've got to do something. Fair enough. We had Brojo on the bench. I understand, and the impact he had when he came on, let's just say, lack of it. There was no impact, right? His first touch was horrid. But we also have David Washington, who we bought for 20 million, who's sitting on the bench and we don't use. Who is this guy? Like, what is he doing here then? If we need a striker on the pitch and we're not going to use him, we've paid 20 million for him, and we're not going to play him, then why is he here? Why did we buy the guy? What's the point? But we stick Cole Palmer up top. Now, I would have wanted Cole Palmer in a deeper role, off that right-hand side, because he can work more of his magic and get the team to click more in a deeper role, closer to the midfield where Villa had us locked off. But no, we stuck him up top as a false nine. And you saw what happened as a false nine. Ball comes off and goes up in the air. He's got no one around him, no pressure, all the time in the world. Ball drops. What happens? He misses it. Sums up everything. Sums everything up, man. I always have to go back to the system. And I can never really fault the players 100%. 100%. Because of the way we set up and the way that we move, I'm still not comfortable with our system. Some would say our lack of it. What is it? I still don't know. What is it that we try to do? What's the system? How do we play? Someone answer me. If you can, please in the comments, get to me and go, if you had to describe Chelsea's system, what is our system? How do we play? Tell me. I'd love to know. So this is why I honestly, I think that one point holds back any player to begin with. And then we always look to individual quality. We're always looking, we never look in terms of a strategy, a pattern, players that combine consistently, that you know have a threat together. If there's a certain group of players in certain places or certain positions that you know something's going to be produced out of that, there's nothing. We have to look at each player individually and analyze individually and hope they can produce individually. That's not a team. And this is the things you need in place when you're playing decent opposition. I'm not talking about the best, but decent opposition. And Aston Villa this season have been very, very decent. Very, very decent. You need to come with a proper strategy, man. You need to come with a proper way of playing. Something that you stick to, that's your identity. What defines you? What do you want to do? How do you want to play? Like, what is it? I look at Chelsea and I think we just have individuals that are all trying to shine individually. Madueke will do what Madueke's got to do. Sterling will do what Sterling's got to do. Palmer will do what Palmer's got to do. Gallagher will do what Gallagher's got to do. Like, that's it. You're just looking at each player individually to produce something. That's just not going to get us anywhere. It's just not going to get us anywhere. And now we're in a situation, like I've said, first half, as far as I'm concerned, some people are going to say we played well in the first half. Let me tell you this. I don't think we did enough. I think it wasn't as bad. It wasn't bad like some of the worst games we've seen, for sure, in terms of halves. But we didn't do enough. We had a couple of chances that we could have buried. Yes, we didn't bury them. That's also part of the reason why I'm critical. But that first half, you could say, we produced a couple of chances, right? That second half, we might as well have not played it. We might as well have ended the game at halftime. Nothing happened in that second half. It's just... And now, because of that, we go to Villa Park. We go to Villa Park and we got to do it there. And when is that game going to be played? I'm actually not sure. I've got the calendar up here now and I have not got Aston Villa showing yet. So we'll see what date that's going to be given and when that's going to slot in. But we've got one hell of a fixtures list coming up now. We've got Liverpool at Anfield next on Wednesday night. So that's not too far away, 5 days away. Then we've got Chelsea Wolves at the Bridge. Crystal Palace away at Selhurst, right, 9 days later. So there's a bit of a gap there. But 4 days after that, Man City at the Etihad. It says Chelsea-Tottenham postponed. I'm guessing that's where the FA Cup replay is going to be fitted, isn't it? And then after that, we've got the final at Wembley against Liverpool. And then we got Brentford away, and then we got Newcastle at the Bridge, and then we've got Arsenal at the Emirates, sorry. And that takes us to mid-March. And then we'll see where that Chelsea-Tottenham game's fitted in as well. It's not good enough. Today was not good enough. Man. Not good enough. And you could argue in terms of the personnel we went with. I mean, it's funny. Even the players that I can deem should have started. Let's be honest. If we're talking about a striker, Broja starts. If we're talking about Chilwell playing left back, he starts. It's funny, these guys came on and done nothing. Mudryk as well, come on, nothing. But the way that we move and the way we play our football is just not good enough. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. So let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And look, I am the way that I am because I don't like that we have to go to Villa Park. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. You know, if Chelsea were in top form, I'd be like, yeah, bring it on. Mate, Villa Park. It's not looking good. So let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one or a brand new two. Because I will do a video about Jurgen Klopp. I know that was big news today, but I haven't done it because I didn't want it to overshadow Chelsea's fixture against Aston Villa today. So there's that. But I will be talking about that tomorrow. So make sure you're here for that. And I'll give you all the rest of the news as it comes out in another video, I'm sure. So I'll see you for a double more than likely tomorrow. I'll catch you then. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you tomorrow. In a bit, people. Take care. And peace.